Here at the Australian Grand Prix, another dominant victory by the world champion Fernando Alonso, leading home Kimi Raikkonen for McLaren and outstandingly Ralf Schumacher for Toyota. Scott Speed there completing the point scorers, although we do understand there may possibly be a change there. Ninth place David Coulthard protesting that Scott Speed overtook him under a yellow, but no doubt about Alonso and Raikkonen, and also Ralf Schumacher completing that podium for Toyota. And Mike Gascoigne, congratulations. Tremendous satisfaction here at Toyota and a truly outstanding drive from Ralf.
Yeah, I mean, a fantastic drive. Disappointing, obviously, for Jarno on the first lap. He got past Coulthard, I think a clean pass, and he turned in on him, which is disappointing. But a great drive from Ralf, especially with the pit lane speeding incident where he missed the pit lane speeding button. And had that problem. We thought we'd thrown it away there, but we got it right from there on in.
What does this tell us about the kind of progress that you're making? Great celebrations from the team, and it was a huge team effort, wasn't it?
Well, we obviously had a disappointing start to the season. In Bahrain, we really struggled, and we kept saying that if we get the tyres to work properly, the car's pretty good. And it's nice to come and prove it here, and thanks to Bridgestone, they did a great job with a new spec of tyre. But yeah, it's really kick-started our season, and I think we actually took you guys out to dinner on Thursday, and that's obviously our lucky
that
talisman.
always helps.
So maybe we'll have to do it every weekend.
One of the problems was tyre temperatures. It's a problem that you've had right throughout the season so far. You had it sorted today, though.
Well, interestingly, you saw some people with real problems. Ralf actually had it after the first safety car incident, and we really worked hard with him to warm the tyres up more. And actually, I think you could see that we were probably better off than most. Fernando didn't seem to struggle. But we really were in a good position, and Michael was really struggling for grip. So we endured a pretty miserable Bahrain, but I think we learnt from it, and today it benefited us.
Very quick word about Renault, who you know so well. Outstanding Alonso again, but Giancarlo Fisichella flattering to deceive once more.
Yeah, I mean, if it can go wrong, it seems to for him, and I don't know what happened on the start, but yeah, he just struggles to get it right. And the one thing, you know, about a championship winner, you know, Alonso, that he gets it right every time. I mean, he's a great guy, and you know, he's just on top of his game, and it's difficult to see anyone going to beat them. Mike,
thanks very much, and well done to Toyota. Let's get more driver reaction now, starting with Fernando Alonso.
We were able to pull every lap 1 second or something like that, but then the safety cars always came in and the gap disappeared. But you know, I was happy for the victory and was not any risk in any moment.
Without any problems, the car would have been able to fight with the Renault, but unfortunately, we just need to have one race without any problems. I think so. We can challenge them.
We were a bit lucky, you know, with people dropping out, with safety cars today. I mean, the last one really overcame my mistake that I did in the pit lane, you know, to overspeed. But no, I mean, you know, it was raceable today. Nevertheless, we brought a different tyre than any other Bridgestone runner, and I'm sure that helped.
I'm very happy with that, especially after the trouble I had for the first 2 races, where I was a bit unlucky. Was quite difficult, obviously, out there with all the safety cars, a few crashes, and people going off and all over the place. And yeah, it's a fantastic result.
Through the race, I had a problem with the clutch, a small problem with the big understeering. Then at the end, I don't know, the car was okay and I was quick. Considering what happened, 5th is a great result anyway.
I had an incident with Scott, and the Toro Rosso overtook me during the accident of Tonio when I was slowing down for the yellow flags. So obviously the stewards have called me to talk my side of that, and they obviously look at the data, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a penalty for that.
You know, the pace is there when the tyre grip's there, when the temperatures are in the tyre. I've proved that in qualifying. You know, if you look at when people stopped during the race, we were quickest in qualifying if you take the fuel loads into account. But in a race, we just haven't got the tyre grip at all when the lower temperatures are there. So we're struggling here big time, and we need to do something for Imola, else we're going to have the same situation.
Jensen, understandably despondent, Mark, and it's quite clear where the problem lies from the Honda point of view.
I think the problem is, we've seen it, is they just don't have the chassis producing the amount of grip they need to get to the tyre, and that's a big problem when it's in these core conditions. You've got to feel for Jensen Button. I mean, started on pole position and he ends up having a disastrous day. You see the start here, he actually gets off the line wonderfully, and that was the big thing, what we've said he needed to achieve. Alonso pushed him, defended his position, but all is no avail. This is the big issue that he's having, comes out there off a rerun, and just cannot get the grip that he needs. He gets passed there by the McLaren very easily, and then he's just fighting all the way through. Get to the end of the race, and unfortunately for him, the engine lets go. This is also a situation where I'm not too sure whether it was the right decision. He pulls over, he doesn't have an engine change penalty, but he loses valuable points.
Yeah, well, if Honda have problems, Ferrari have even more fundamental problems. They've had a bad season so far. This comfortably their worst weekend.
A big problem for Ferrari. Massa gets caught up in the early stages of the race there, slams into the wall. He's already done some damage in the qualifying session previously in the weekend. And then you get Michael Schumacher, comes onto the pit straight, just comes onto the curbing and loses it when the rear of the car gets bounced up on the curbing. Big impact. A lot of damage again, and a very despondent previous world champion. You've got to be wondering what Schumacher's thinking.
It was an incident-packed old race. That meant the safety car coming out time and again. That's really what did for Jenson Button. But so many having tyre problems. Some spectacular moments out there, weren't there? Christian Klein, for example.
Some big moments out there. Christian Klein just getting it all wrong on the bump. Just he comes into the braking area, and it just turns him sharp left. It's a big impact on the car there, and Christian will be wondering how he could have managed to avoid that. Luzzi also in the Toro Rosso car, another great impact there, and lots of damage and lots of debris on the circuit. You can see the whole side of that right side there of the car completely ripped to shreds.
And there was a strange one for Juan Pablo Montoya at the end as well, wasn't there?
Again, strange, yeah, because he came onto the pit straight. You can just see as he's going onto the pit straight there, again, off that curbing, onto the grass, the car starts to get airborne, and I think actually what's happened is the curb has probably punched through the underside of the car, and he's done something on the electrics, turned the car off, and that's the end of his race.
Well, it was eventful, but it was Fernando Alonso in the end, so Renault celebrating once more. Let's hear from Pat Simmons of Renault.
Pat, commanding performance from Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, it certainly was. I don't know how much was broadcast, but at one stage he said, I'm just relaxing, so fantastic race for him.
Really, once he got past that first, or got past Jenson at that first corner, it was kind of all over. He was on his way to the victory.
I'm not sure it was all over. The safety car certainly gave us a few things to worry about, and I'm sure Kimi is very frustrated by what happened with the Midland, the restarts, but nevertheless it turned out a little bit easier than I think I predicted. I thought we were going to have a much harder race.
What about Giancarlo's performance?
Well, once things got going, really good. He had an anti-stall at the start, which didn't cancel properly, which is why he started from the pit lane. And then in the pursuit of Jenson, he had the clutch fail, and it took us a little while to get the electronics into the right mode. But as soon as that was done, he was off again, and it paid off.
Well, they've won all three so far. How strong a grip do you feel they've got on this season, Renault?
I think they're just going to run away with it at this point in time, because I don't see anybody with the pace to actually come across and take it to them. But the big thing for me, if Alonso hadn't have had all those safety car concerns, you know, where the safety car came out and cost him valuable time and put the pack all up together again, the guy probably would have won by over a minute. I mean, that's how strong he was today. Unbelievable.
But as we head into Europe, it might all change?
It could all change, but I don't think so at this moment, Steve. There's a lot of work to be done by a lot of teams.
Mark, thanks very much indeed. Quick look at the driver standings. Very happy reading for Fernando Alonso. 14-point lead over Giancarlo Fisichella and Kimi Raikkonen, Michael Schumacher, Jenson Button, Juan Pablo Montoya, all failing to score today. Alonso strengthens his position. Constructors' Championship, Renault in charge again. 19 points clear of McLaren, and Ferrari 27 points adrift after just 3 rounds of the championship. Okay, we'll have further highlights later tonight, and now Formula One moves to Europe as well for the San Marino Grand Prix at Imola in 3 weeks' time. We'll be live, of course, for qualifying as well as for the race. But nearer at hand, don't forget our live coverage of the University Boat Race. It immediately follows this programme. There's also a big night of Champions League football on Tuesday night. The matches involving AC Milan and Lyon, Villarreal and Inter Milan on ITV1 and ITV4. And there's more motorsport on ITV next weekend.
Oh dear me! Oh, a huge high side! Oh no! Oh, that's a huge crash.
There's not space here for 2 cars, surely. Oh, this is physical racing, isn't it? Oh no! Both on the cross!
So superbikes and touring cars next weekend. Don't forget it's the University Boat Race next, and whoever wins on the Thames this afternoon will struggle to do it with the style and authority that Renault's world champion Fernando Alonso has shown here in Melbourne today. From us all here at Albert Park, goodbye.
For the latest Formula One news and updates, visit ITV.